The story starts by explaining how the world began. It was a dark and stormy place, until a goddess brought light and created a continent for 9 different races. There are dragonauts, elves, anifolk, dwarves, demonkin, dark elves, centaurs, beastfolk, and of course, humans. We meet our main character, a human boy named Light, who is saying goodbye to his family, his mom, dad, Else, and Yume. He promises them that he's going to become a great adventurer and make enough money so they can all live comfortably. He sets off on his journey, a little unsure of the way but full of hope. His optimism is quickly challenged when he bumps into some other adventurers who shove him aside, calling him a pipsqueak and telling him humans should stay out of the way. Light just apologizes and moves on. He gets to the Adventurers Guild and waits in line. When it's his turn, the receptionist greets him and asks for his name. He tells her it's Light and confirms that he's a first-time registrant. She informs him that he'll start at F rank and asks if he has a special ability, a gift. Light proudly says he does and tells her it's called Unlimited Gacha. The receptionist is confused and asks him to explain what that means. So, Light decides to show her. He activates his gacha, pulls a card, and shouts, "Release." But what comes out is just junk. He tries again and again, but all he gets is a bent fork, a rotten apple, and some moldy bread. He insists that it's usually not this bad, but the receptionist is not impressed and confirms that F rank is definitely the right place for him. Light then asks if there are any jobs he can do right away. The receptionist points him to a bulletin board with the easiest jobs, but then asks if he has trouble reading. Light admits he does, and she sighs, mentioning the low literacy rate among humans. She offers him some menial labor instead: firewood gathering, soil hauling, and turf cutting. The pay is terrible, but Light is just happy to have work and eagerly accepts. After working his butt off all day, he barely earns enough money for a place to stay. He hopes he can at least pull something edible from his gacha for dinner. As he's walking, he accidentally bumps into some rough-looking guys. He apologizes, but they get angry, claiming he got their clothes dirty and demanding he pay for it. They see his small coin pouch and snatch it, saying it's just enough to cover their laundry bill. Light begs them to give it back, explaining that it's all he has to pay for a room for the night. They just laugh at him, saying the money is better off in their hands and that he'd be lucky to rent a pigsty with that little cash. They tell him to go sleep in the dump with the rest of the human trash and walk off to get drinks. Just then, a beautiful elf woman approaches and asks if he's okay. She kneels down to help him, but this causes a scene. Other people passing by are disgusted to see an elf getting close to a human. The elf, whose name is Sasha, doesn't care. She's joined by her party, the Concord of Tribes. A beastfolk named Garu explains that their party represents all 9 races created by the goddess, and they formed it to pursue a noble cause, to end racial discrimination and create a fair world for everyone. The party includes Drago the Dragonaut, Diablo the Demonkin, Oboro the Onifolk, Nano the Dwarf, Siona the Dark Elf, and Santor the Centaur. Garu tells Light that all they need to complete their party of 9 is a human. They ask him to join them, and Light, who has just been treated like garbage for being human, is overjoyed at the idea of a world with no discrimination. He can't believe they actually need him, and he happily accepts their offer to join the Concord of Tribes. The story then jumps forward in time. Light is with his party in the Abyss, the largest and toughest dungeon in the world. He's not very strong and almost gets killed by a monster, but Sasha saves him at the last second. She scolds him for being careless, telling him he'll die instantly if he gets hit by anything in there. The other party members tease her for coddling Light, saying she can't help but blush around him. Sasha gets flustered and denies it, claiming she's just worried about the party's reputation. The others don't buy it, but let it go. They tell Light not to worry and that he's already doing enough just by making tea for them. They continue deeper into the dungeon until they find a good spot to rest. Light immediately offers to get the tea ready, but as he's about to, Drago stops him. He coldly tells Light that tea won't be necessary because he is being banished from the party. Light is completely stunned and doesn't understand. The others join in, calling him a useless and stupid kid. They start insulting him, saying humans reek and that they can finally be rid of him. Light is heartbroken and asks why they're doing this after being so nice to him. Garu cruelly informs him that they were faking it the whole time. They explain that their superiors suspected his unlimited gacha gift might mean he was a legendary figure called a maestro. The Concord of Tribes was formed specifically to recruit him and keep an eye on him. However, his gift turned out to be trash and his stats are pathetic, so their bosses concluded he can't be the maestro. Now that he's of no use to them, he's just dead weight. Sasha even expresses her relief, saying she was disgusted by the thought of having to marry an inferior human if he had turned out to be the maestro. The truth is even worse. They reveal that their orders are to kill him to tie up loose ends. They plan to make it look like he was killed in a surprise monster attack. Then, they begin to attack him. They laugh and mock him as they slash and shoot him with arrows, enjoying his cries of pain. Drago tells them to stop before they leave too many wounds that contradict their cover story. He approaches a bleeding and terrified Light and tells him he'll do him a solid and kill him quickly. Light, in utter despair, screams that he doesn't want to die. He wants to live. In that moment of pure desperation, he accidentally steps on a hidden teleportation trap and vanishes in a flash of light. He reappears somewhere else, deep within the abyss, but he's alive. The shock and pain of the betrayal wash over him. He realizes all their kindness was a lie, a trick to lure him into the dungeon to be killed. His grief turns into a burning rage. He swears he will survive and make them all pay for what they did. Just as he makes this vow, a colossal monster, level 1000, appears before him. He knows he's dead. With no other option, he desperately uses his unlimited gacha. A brilliant light erupts, and a woman in a maid outfit materializes. She effortlessly kills the monster in a single blow. She then turns to Light, apologizes for her forwardness, and completely heals his wounds. She introduces herself as May, the ever-seeking maid, a level 9999 super ultra rare card he just pulled. Light is in disbelief. May asks for permission to use her appraisal skill on his gift. She discovers that his unlimited gacha's true abilities are hidden by a powerful concealment spell. She explains that the gacha's results depend on the surrounding mana density. On the surface, where mana is weak, he only gets junk. But here, in the depths of the abyss where mana is abundant, he can pull incredibly rare cards like her. She congratulates him on his bravery for coming down so deep to unlock his power. Light bitterly tells her the truth, that he was betrayed and left for dead. He pours out all his anger and pain. May listens, and then offers to hunt down his former comrades and bring him their heads on pikes. Light stops her. He realizes he was betrayed because he was weak. He declares that he will become strong and get his revenge with his own two hands. He will make them all suffer personally. May is deeply moved by his resolve and pledges her absolute loyalty to him. She promises to support him in his quest for vengeance. With a new powerful ally by his side and a true understanding of his incredible power, Light stands in the depths of the abyss. He begins to roll his unlimited gacha again, ready to build a force strong enough to pave his path to revenge. His grand tale of vengeance has just begun. The story jumps forward 3 years, and Light is now the established master of a thriving community in the deepest part of the abyss. His people, including a group of adoring fairy maids, greet him with cheers and praise. One maid gets a little too enthusiastic, saying she wants to get a good whiff of his feet, which earns her a perv alert from her friends. The head maid, May, asks Light for permission to silence the blabbering maids, but Light is cool with it, saying they're just smitten with him. As he walks through his domain, his subjects offer him new dishes and report on logistical issues like running low on snacks. Light promises to have it sorted out, thinking to himself that with the population boom over the last 3 years, the entire supply system might need an overhaul. He asks about the other members of his quartet, and it's revealed that Aoyuki is scouting and mapping the forests on the surface, which is no problem for a genius tamer like her. Light isn't worried about her cat-like fickleness, saying he wouldn't have her any other way. He then asks about Ellie, who is busy developing new magic for his grand plan of revenge. He hopes she isn't getting overwhelmed, but he's assured she relishes her service to him. As for Nizuna, she's on patrol as usual, and while she's an expert at close combat, she's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. But Light appreciates her because she makes things fun. Meanwhile, Light goes to train with a man named Jack, who he treats like an older brother. Jack tells him the gloves are off today, and they begin a sparring session. Light throws a punch so powerful that Jack, the iron-blooded barricade, says it would have killed anyone else. Elsewhere, Nizuna is happily patrolling the castle grounds, proud of her important job for Master Light. The other residents cheer her on, calling her queen and saying how safe they feel with her around. A few maids then approach her with a special request, telling her there's a very important top-secret spot they need her to check out, a place that's off-limits to them. Nazuna, being simple, agrees and heads off, which leads her straight to Master Light's bedroom. She runs into Mei, who is tidying up the room while Light is away. Nazuna asks what she's doing, and Mei claims she's just cleaning because a maid can never be idle. Nazuna, however, notices the bed looks like someone was just rolling around sniffing the pillows. Mei quickly covers, calling it her unique bed-making style, a trade secret. Nazuna is completely fooled and amazed by Mei's special housekeeping skill, thinking to herself that Mei really is the foremost summon. Mei is just relieved that Nazuna has no brain cells. Nazuna then remembers she has messages for Mei from the other maids. She reads them out loud. "Down with you and your monopoly on Master Light's room. We demand you give everybody the right to clean his quarters. Vote yeses on removing the tyrannical head maid," and a bunch of "get wrecked." Nazuna is confused by the last one, wondering if it's some kind of ailment magic. Mei tells her not to worry about it and that she'll handle the maid's problems herself. As thanks, Mei gives Nazuna a tip, which makes Nazuna incredibly happy as she runs off to spend her new money. Nazuna immediately goes to a shop and buys her favorite snack, dorayaki, and some milk. On her way out, she spots Aoyuki. She asks Aoyuki what she's doing back from her scouting mission on the surface already. Aoyuki just responds with "Mew," and Nazuna can't understand her like Light can. Nazuna tries to guess what's wrong, offering to cut down trees or fight strong monsters for her. She tells Aoyuki that even though Aoyuki was summoned first, Nazuna is older and stronger, so she can depend on her. Aoyuki finally speaks, stating that she encountered no threats and just came back to deliver a finished map to Mei. Nazuna calls her a weirdo for not just saying so and runs off to continue her patrol. Later, Mei confronts the 4 fairy maids who sent the messages. She reads their demands back to them, including the "get wrecked" part. The maids get flustered and try to explain, saying they just wanted to lighten her load as a unique way of showing support. Mei doesn't buy it, especially since they used Nazuna to deliver the message instead of facing her directly. She rejects their demands and punishes them by making them clean the entire long hallway to the throne room by hand. The maids are horrified by the impossible task. Elsewhere, Nazuna runs into Ellie. They immediately start bickering, with Ellie calling Nazuna a dimwit. Nazuna tries to prove she's smart by reciting her times tables but fails spectacularly. Ellie mocks her, saying her stupidity knows no bounds, and boasts that Master Light has made her a fundamental part of his revenge plans, unlike Nazuna with her tiny brain. Ellie brags about having tea with Light to discuss plans and hints at future private dinners with nocturnal entertainment. Nazuna gets jealous and whines that she wants to have tea with Master Light too. Ellie is surprised she only focuses on the tea part, calling her dumb and childish. Nazuna, not getting the hint, just offers to help Ellie with close quarters combat since she knows Ellie sucks at it. The punished maids are scrubbing the floor, complaining about Mei's unfairness and her monopoly on Master Light's room. They start fantasizing about sniffing his sheets and licking his used utensils. Their jealousy grows as they talk about how Mei was Light's first summon and spent 3 months alone with him in the dungeon when he was at a low level. Their envy turns into a rage, and they start chanting a curse for Mei to die. Just then, Mei appears behind them, having heard everything. She reveals she was on her way to the surface for a mission. The maids immediately switch to groveling, declaring their undying loyalty. Mei tells them that during those first 3 months, Light was constantly busy reading and training, so none of their vulgar fantasies ever happened. She says she was actually feeling bad and thought her punishment was too harsh, but after hearing them curse her, she realizes she was mistaken. She adds the throne room to their cleaning duties, also to be done by hand, and tells them the way of the maid begins with a single step, just like the climb to level 500 begins with effort. That night, Nazuna finishes her patrol, a little sad she didn't get to see Light all day, and wishes him a good night. The next morning, Nazuna, Ellie, and Aoyuki are all together when Light appears, saying he figured they'd be there. Nazuna is overjoyed that her wish to see him came true. Light starts petting Aoyuki like a cat, which annoys Ellie, who tells him to join her in her bedroom instead. Nazuna tells Aoyuki to back off, and Light gently pushes Aoyuki away, saying it's time to get down to business. He mentions that even seeing a hellhound gives him trauma from that day, which triggers his summons. Nazuna, Ellie, and Aoyuki all declare that the Hellhound breed has no right to live and prepare to use their level 9999 power to eradicate the entire species from existence. Light has to calm them down, saying he's alright now and that he knows they'd actually do it if he gave the order, even jokingly. He then reveals why he gathered them. He just got word from May that their prey has taken the bait. It's time to put the plan in motion. It's time to kick some ass. He's counting on all of them to serve his first dish of revenge, 3 years in the making. The scene then shifts to the Beastfolk Federation in the City of Wolves, where a man named Sir Guru walks through the streets as people cheer for him.